Today, I am here to share with you the amount of magnitude that I am feeling for my life. If I did not meet Merrick, who came directly to me on the third day, I probably would not have survived. And that is something I am here to share with you.
I just love Mount Shasta every route on this beautiful mountain. Regardless of conditions, there is something always beautiful you can find, and I really enjoy it. It's a bit scary being surrounded by these crevasses and steep slopes. Hey, I am Marco and I am on the top of Mount Shasta. Yee-haw! Yee-haw! Ah! Yee-haw! Yee-haw! I feel great. That's the most important. Now I can admit, I climbed Mount Shasta over times. How many over? It's a secret. You will never know. Yeehaw! On the summit of Mount Shasta. My second attempt. Okay, this is my second attempt. And here was my attempt yesterday. And look at this. Chad and Ian on the top of Mount Shasta. Can you do that? Go ahead.
The search is over for a hiker missing on Mount McLaughlin.
This afternoon, a helicopter from the Oregon Army National Guard airlifted 54-year-old John Zazara's body off the mountain. For nearly 2 weeks, the Klamath County Sheriff's Department led an exhaustive search for Zazara, but in the end, it was his best friend who found him.
The search for climber John Zazara is over. After a 2-week multi-agency effort to find the lost Beaverton man on Mount McLaughlin, Zazara's best friend and climbing partner, Merrick Dom, arrived from San Francisco to launch a search of his own.
I packed my stuff immediately because I felt he needed me. He was my friend and my best climbing partner. I'm sure he would do the same thing for me.
On his second night, Dom reached the summit and began his descent into the icy terrain. Dom planned his route according to where he thought his friend would have gone, slightly off the trail and into more challenging terrain. Dom's intuition paid off. Suddenly,
I saw John on the rock. I was just hitting right in the right direction, the perfect direction. And then, of course, when I saw what happened, I started screaming.
Dom called 911. Hours later, a helicopter flew overhead but couldn't spot the two men. In an unsafe area, Dom was forced to leave the mountain before nightfall without his friend, but with the knowledge of his fate.
Hello, my name is Charity, and I'm here to share post-experience of being on Mount Shasta in my pursuit to reach the top of the summit. I picked up the phone and I called 911 and I said, I'm stuck on a mountain and I want you to know if I need to know what to do. Should I hunker down and sleep and then walk back down? Or is someone going to rescue me? And please to let my friend know that I'm okay. The phone battery wasn't charged very long. I spoke to the deputy for a little bit. He had the search and rescue person call me once, and they told me that they would take about 7 to 8 hours to come get me. He told me to keep moving. It's going to be the best so that you can stay warm and alive. And I'm grateful for this information. So I decided that night to do exactly that. saw a helicopter and I stood up and I waved my turquoise scarf that I have. I'm wearing a neon yellow lace dress and green leggings and these black boots. I think I got it TJ Maxx or something like that, and a lightweight jacket and a hat. And they did not see me. And I was on like a cliff of the mountain. So I would think that I would be very visible. And waving a turquoise scarf and standing. My reason I didn't think that they saw me is because they didn't come to my rescue. I saw them circle around me a few times. And I was wondering why they didn't see me and why nothing was happening. I thought that probably because I'm uninjured, that maybe that they're not supposed to come to my aid. Not even by sunset, I was starting to get cold. Just as soon as the shadow actually started to happen over the mountain at the rocks, I moved myself out of the shadow of the rocks that I was laying in to more of the sun and the rocks that were very warm and hot that I was grateful for, but still feeling cold and knowing that's not a very good sign. So I stayed at those rocks and just waited and waited and prayed, as I do. There was someone amazingly walking up the rocks right at sunset, right as I was just beginning to shiver. This is a good happy ending story. I'm here. So I look at this person and I say, "Are you with search and rescue?" And he says to me, "No, I'm not, but I'm here to find you. I'm here to rescue you." And I was just like, wow, thank you. And I also had this sense of like, I don't need to be rescued. He layered me with jackets that kept me warm, that I was in much need of. Made me food and hot chocolate and gave me a Snickers and said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, I'm uninjured. I can make myself back down. I just need to know the way. I just got lost. And I'm so thankful that you're here. Thank you so much." He immediately called 911 to let everyone know that I was found, as I found out there was a huge search party looking for me. Very deep, heartfelt thanks for Merrick, who was the person at the beginning of the trailhead who I completely disregarded and decided not to connect with, who said, "Hey girl, like, where are you going?" He was the one who decided to come find me because he happens to be a mountaineer, which is why he had his clothes hanging up. I am very grateful to share this story with no makeup on and not as a dead body. I thank you for listening, and what I have learned from this and what I have learned from the mountain has been paramount to my whole entire life. And I'm very glad to keep sharing this with you, so please continue to listen. Also, I want to clear something up very clearly. There's something about a tent that I stayed in. I did not stay in a tent. Much gratitude and blessings to all of your journeys in all your paths and walks in life. Namaste.
Yeehaw!